Hello friends, welcome back to VOWIAS. Welcome to the Prelims Test Series discussion, and as you all know we are discussing Vision IAS Prelims Test Series, and this is Test 5 and this is part 3 where we will start from question number 61. Now let's quickly begin with the 61st question, and the 61st question is on Domingo Pace. Domingo Pace, if you see, he came to India during the Vijayanagar time, during the Vijayanagar Empire ruling time in 1520s. So he visited the capital of Vijayanagar Empire under the Sri Krishna Devaraya, and he recorded all his observations in the book, the Chronica dos Reis de Basinga, which was dated 1525. He wrote all his observations where he talked about the commercial dimensions, the architecture, the religion and customs, the bureaucracy and every day of the city and its empire. He also described the busy markets having these precious stones which were sold just on the roads directly. He also referred to the great feast in his writings. So historians say that this 9-day great feast in fact is nothing but the Mahanavami Dibba. Next, the 62nd question is on the Akbar Mansabdari system. Akbar had to organize his nobility and the army. So Akbar realized both these are the objectives, and this can be achieved through the Mansabdari system of his. This Mansabdari system is the system where all the people who are working in his courtyard, they get some ranks. Okay, the lowest rank was 10 and highest was 5,000, which is for the nobles, and the princes of the blood get higher mansabs. At the first only one rank, that is mansab, but from the 40th year ranks were divided into two, the zat and sawar. Zat means the personal fixed status of the person and salary due to him. Zat means the personal fixed status, and the sawar is the rank due to cavalry. That is the thing. These two categories are there, and a few mansabdars, they got paid via cash. Their salary was paid by cash, and a few were given the land, and the people who got the land are called the zagirdars, and the land is called zagir. It did not confer any hereditary right on the holder, but rather than it is for his it is basically for his expenses. This is about Akbar and his mansabdari system. Next, 63rd question is on the universities and the bill. Recently, Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly passed 2 bills to transfer to the governor's power in appointing vice chancellors of 13 state universities to state government. Education, if you see, it is under concurrent list, just remember this. But entry 66 of union list talks about the coordination and determination of the standards in institution. That means educational standards for especially higher education and research. It comes under the central government. So according to this Central University Regulation 2009 Act, the president is the ex officio visitor. The chancellors are the nominal heads in the central universities appointed by the president as visitor and are restricted to preside over convocations. According to this UGC minimum qualification for the appointment of teachers and other academic staff in universities and other measure for maintenance of the standards, the visitor or the chancellor is the governor in the state, and he shall appoint the vice chancellor out of the panel of names recommended by the search cum selection committee. So in general, if you take the states, the chancellor will be the governor of the state, and the vice chancellor will be appointed by the governor himself based on the recommendation of the state government, you can say in brief. The state government in fact has to have this search cum selection committee, and according to this the governor will appoint them. Next, the 64th question is on Muhammad Hussain al-Khatib Kashmiri. So he is the most celebrated calligrapher at Akbar's court, who gave him title of Zarin Kalam. That means Zarin Kalam means golden pen. He continued to work at the court of Jahangir as well, and his recorded work is dated between 1580 to 1608. He was the master of Nastaliq, that is calligraphic style. Nastaliq means, and pupil of Abdul Aziz. Abul Fazl in the Aini Akbari considers writing of this person and his handwriting to be equal to that of the Mir Ali. So that means he's a very great person who had great calligraphic skills. Now let's move on to the next question, that is 65th question. The 6th question talks about the Therigata. Therigata, if you see, this also came in the previous prelims. This is associated with Buddhism. Therigathas, if you see, Gatha, something, a song kind of a thing. These are the songs of Buddhist monks and nuns These are associated with Buddhism. These are associated with Buddhism. Therigata means the song sung by Buddhist monks and nuns, and it gives insights of the women's social and spiritual experiences. That is the main thing here. It is part of the Kudaka Niyaka, that is Sutta Petaka. Sutta Petaka, okay. So there are three Pitakas: Vinay Petaka, Sutta Petaka, Abhidhamma Petaka. Right. Next, 67th question is on the Persian style of writing. The Persian style of writing in fact influenced the Western Indian style of painting in the 15th century, and it is evident from the Persian facial types and hunting scenes on the borders of some manuscripts of Kalpasutra, which is a Jain text. The manuscript of Nimatnama in Indian Office Library, London, is marked by a new trend of painting at Malwa. It started during the Ghiyasuddin Khilji of Malwa, and if you see in Niyatnama style, that we can clearly see the Persian influence, which is visible in scroll-like clouds, the flowering trees and all. So overall, if you see, the Persian had a great influence on Indian works, be it in the writing, be it in the painting and so on. So this Nimatnama, which is a cookery book, it had clear paintings of all the, or you can say it had clear influence of this Persian style. Next, 68th question is on the great Chola rulers, Rajaraja and Rajendra I. Rajaraja ruled from 981 to 1014, and Rajendra I ruled from 1014 to 1044. So they are great Chola rulers. Rajaraja destroyed the Chera navy at Trivandrum and attacked the Quillan. He conquered Madurai, captured Pandyan king. He invaded Sri Lanka and annexed the north part to his empire. So as you all know, the Cholas ruled almost till Indonesia and a lot of southeast countries. The Coromandel coast and Malabar coast, that means near to Kerala, were centers for India's trade with the Southeast Asia. You can say the region bordering Kerala and Tamil Nadu, that region, and one of his naval exploits is the conquest of Maldives. That means he conquered even Maldives. He annexed northwestern parts of Ganga kingdom in Karnataka and overran Vengis. Next, Rajendra, if you see, Rajendra, he carried this annexation policy of Rajaraja by overrunning Pandyas and Cheras. And also he increased the conquests in Sri Lanka, and total Sri Lanka was annexed by him. Rajaraja and Rajendra I marked their victories by erecting a number of Shiva and Vishnu temples at various places. The most famous temple, if you see, the Brihadeshwara temple at Tanjore. This was completed in 1010. Cholas adopted the practice of inscriptions written on the walls of temple, giving historical narratives of the victories, about all the wars, the victories and everything. And the remarkable exploit in the reign of Rajendra I was a march across the Kalinga to Bengal, in which Chola armies crossed rivers and they defeated two local kings. This question, 69th question, is on Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Firoz Shah Tughlaq was born in 1309 and he ascended throne of Delhi in 1351 after the demise of his cousin Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So jizya became a separate tax during his reign. Earlier it was part of land revenue, but Firoz refused to exempt Brahmin from payment of jizya. Only women, children and disabled were exempt. He was the first ruler who took steps to have Hindu religious works translated from Sanskrit to Persian. And if you see this Tughlaq dynasty, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was the first ruler of this dynasty. This Firoz Shah Tughlaq was the third ruler of this Tughlaq dynasty. And he passed away in Thatta while battling in Sindh against the Taghi, who is a Turkish slave. Next, the 70th question is on the hydro projects. So recently, even Prime Minister and various other leaders, they will be laying various foundation stones. So these kind of projects will become important for us. So recently, Prime Minister laid foundation stone of 850 megawatt Rattle power project and 540 megawatt Kwar hydro project, and this Rattle project is on Chenab in Jammu and Kashmir, and this project actually is in news from quite some time. So remember, Rattle hydro project on Chenab in Jammu Kashmir. And next, the 540 megawatt Kwar hydro project is also on Chenab in Kishtawar. So Kwar and Rattle both on Chenab. So under this Indus Water Treaty, 3 rivers belong to India and 3 rivers belong to Pakistan. Indus, Jhelum, Chenab, they belong to Pakistan. Ravi based Satluj belongs to India. That means India will have all the rights over it. Okay, but even the run of the river projects can be constructed over Chenab, Jhelum and Indus as well. That is the thing. Next, the 71st question is on the southern kingdoms, the Cholas, Pandyas and the Cheras. So Pandyas, if you see, they were first mentioned by Megasthenes. The kingdom was celebrated for pearls. They are ruled by women, and the matriarchal influence is seen in the Pandyan society. So the Pandyans actually in the southern Tamil Nadu, they were very famous. The modern district of Tirunelveli, the Raman, Madurai in Tamil Nadu with its capital at Madurai. And the literature in the Tamil in early centuries of the Christian era and called Sangam literature refers to the Pandyan rulers, but it does not provide any current account. The Pandyan kings profited from the trade with the Roman Empire and sent ambassadors to this Roman Emperor Augustus. The Brahmins enjoyed influence, and the Pandyan kings performed Vedic sacrifices in the early centuries at the Christian era. In these Pandyans, the territory is called Pandya Mandalam. Pandya Mandalam, right? And also the prime minister was called Uttara Mantri. So it was called like that. The royal secretariat during this Pandyan time is called Etu Mandapam. So these are some of the important things about Pandyans. And also they used to give land to the Brahmins, which is known as Sala Bogam. The land assigned to ironsmiths was called Tattarkani. Even carpenters also used to get land during the time of the Pandyans. And during the Pandyans, the busiest port was Kayalpattinam, which is now in Thoothukudi district. Next, the 72nd question is on Rajarajeshwara, that is the Brihadeshwara temple. So this Brihadeshwara temple, built by Rajaraja Chola, is a magnificent Shiva temple in Tanjavur. It was completed in 1009. It is the largest and the tallest of Indian temples. It's a very beautiful temple. The first time we have seen two large gopuras. Gopuras are the gateway towers with an elaborate sculptural program conceived along with the temple. And huge Nandi figures were there in that. And also you have the Shikara Kalsha on the top as well. The main deity is Lord Shiva with a huge lingam set in the two-story building over there. And we can see hybridization of several styles. The hallmark of Chalukyan buildings can be seen over there. And the most elaborate Chalukyan temple is the Pattakadal, which is made in the reign of Vikramaditya II by his chief queen Lokamahadevi in the Virupaksha temple. And this is also dedicated to Lord Shiva. And this another temple, the Papanath, is dedicated to Lord Shiva. Lakshmana temple of Khajuraho, dedicated to Vishnu, built in 954 by Chandela king Dhanga. Nagara temple is placed on high platform accessed by stairs. There are 4 smaller temples in the corners, and all towers or shikaras rise high upward in a curved pyramidal fashion, emphasizing temple's vertical thrust ending in horizontal fluted disc called Amalaka, topped with Kalsha. So that means it's a typical Dravidian style of architecture. All the elements of this Dravidian style can be found in this temple. Okay. Next, 73rd question is on Ellora caves. So the two famous caves, Ajanta and Ellora, they are there in Maharashtra. The Ellora caves are located in Aurangabad, 100 kilometers from Ajanta, and Ellora caves basically they have 34 Buddhist, Brahmanical and Jain caves. There are 12 Buddhist caves having many images belonging to Vajrayana Buddhism like Tara, Mayamuri, Ashobdya, Avalokiteshwara, Maitreya, Amitabha. Ajanta has excavated double-story caves, but at Ellora, triple-story is unique achievement. The Buddhist images are big in size and they are found in various temples and various caves. Many caves are dedicated even to Shaivism. Among Shaivite theme, Ravana shaking Kailash was famous, and also the Andhaka Survada and the Kalyan Sundaram, they are depicted. And also you have in the cave number 16, the Kailash Leni, which is a rock cut temple that have been carved out of a single rock. So called the Kailashnath temple in fact. This is about Ellora caves. Next, the 74th question talks about the Indian Antarctic Bill of 2022. This Antarctic Treaty, basically it was signed in Washington on 1st of December 1959 by 12 nations who are active in the Antarctic region during International Geophysical Year. And those 12 original signatories are Argentina, Australia, Belgium, Chile, France, Japan, New Zealand, Norway, South Africa, UK, US and USSR. India and Ukraine are also the members. and any member can now join it, and the membership is currently 54. Now India is also a member. So this Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 basically is to give effect to this Antarctic Treaty, which is about the Convention on the Conservation of Antarctic Marine Living Resources and the Protocol on Environmental Protection to the Antarctic Treaty. That is about this Indian Antarctic Bill. And if you see the activities in Antarctica, they are governed by this treaty, and 3 international agreements were signed: the Convention for Conservation of Antarctic Seals, Convention for Conservation of the Antarctic Marine Living Resources, and the Protocol on Environmental Protection to Antarctic Treaty. These are the 3 agreements. And what are the objectives of Antarctic Treaty? If you see, the Antarctic shall be used for peaceful purposes only. Military operations are not permitted. This is the first objective. And also continued freedom for scientific investigation and research, promotion of international cooperation and transparency, prohibiting nuclear test and disposal of radioactive waste, provides that any visit to any continent comply with this treaty, within this continent should be complying with this treaty. It sets aside dispute over the territorial sovereignty, because no country have a complete sovereignty over this Antarctica. This is about India Antarctic Bill of 2022. Next, 75th is about Dargah. Dargah is nothing but a place where a Sufi, after his death, is buried. His tomb or shrine becomes the Dargah. So when a Sufi saint dies, his tomb is like he's buried, and that place becomes a center for his followers. And this encouraged pilgrimage or zariyat to his grave on his death anniversary. It is prevalent even during the times of the Delhi Sultanate. The Muhammad bin Tughlaq, first Sultan to visit the shrine. Music and dance, the mystical chantings, they were performed by trained musicians or qawwals to elicit divine ecstasy, and it is a significant aspect of the ziyarat. So this is about this Dargah. Next, the Chishtis. So Chishti saints led to simple, austere life, and they conversed with the people in Hindwari, in the local dialect. They mingled freely with the people of lower class, including Hindus. The Chishti order, if you see, it was set up in India by Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, who came to India in 1192 after the death of Prithviraj Chauhan. The Shurvarti order entered India at the same time as that of the Chistis, but its activities was confined largely to Punjab and Multan. So the Chishti is also a famous Sufi sect, you can say. Famous Chishti saints, if you see, Nizamuddin Aulia, Nirazuddin Chiragi Delhi, Hamid Uddin Nagori, Shurvarti order. Of this Shurvarti order, in fact. So this is about the Chishtis. This is about Chishtis. And next, the 77th question is on hepatitis B. Hepatitis B is a severe liver infection caused by this hepatitis B virus, and that's easily preventable by a vaccine. The disease generally is spread by exposure to infected bodily fluids like blood, semen or other fluids. Symptoms of this is jaundice, fever, vomiting, loss of appetite and pain in joints or belly, and it can be prevented through vaccine completely. This is about hepatitis B. So hepatitis B is related to liver infection. Next, the 78th question is on Indus Valley civilization. So on Indus Valley we had a lot of questions. The Indus Valley civilization covered parts of Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Gujarat, Rajasthan and fringes of western UP. It extended from Jammu in north to Narmada estuary in the south, and from Makran coast of Balochistan in the west to Meerut in the northeast. The Indus Valley, famous Indus Valley cities, if you see, they are located on the banks of river Indus. That's why the civilization is called Indus civilization, and its tributaries also. Example, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Rakhigarhi, Kalibangan, all these cities. And Mohenjo-daro is famous for the Great Bath. Mohenjo-daro is also famous for this bronze dancing girl. The statue of bearded man was also found in this Mohenjo-daro. Harappa, if you see, it was located on the river Ravi. It is the first city to be discovered, and hence Indus Valley civilization is also called Harappan civilization. This is about Harappa. So in Harappa is on the river Ravi. Next, Kalibangan. Kalibangan is located on the banks of Ghaggar, Hakra in Rajasthan, where Bias flows through Himachal Pradesh and Punjab. The site has evidence of ploughed agriculture fields and fire altars as well. So almost all the cities of Indus Valley had great history. There are a lot of things that we find when we are doing research in these sites especially. Next, the 79th question is on Pushyabhuti dynasty. The Pushyabhuti dynasty of Thanesar. The important ruling family to gain prominence after the fall of Guptas is this Pushyabhutis. The capital is at Thanesar, which is in Kurukshetra in fact. It became influential with the accession of the Prabhakar Vardhana, who is able to defeat Hunas and strengthen his position in Punjab and Haryana as well. After death of Prabhakar Vardhana, his elder son Rajavardhana, he came to the throne, but he was killed by Sashanka, who is the king of Bengal and Bihar. Harshavardhana then ascended throne in AD 606. Harsha Charitra, written by his court poet Banabhatta, is a very famous one, and also Chinese traveler Huyen Sang came during the time of Harsha. Fahian, if you see, he visited during Chandragupta too. So remember this thing. Okay. He was a good calligraphist and a poet and composed extempore verses. He knew Persian, Arabic, Turkish, and he also knew Telugu, Kannada, Marathi. He inducted Hindus in administration on large scale. From his time in Deccani Brahmins, he became dominant in the revenue administration. Brahmins became dominant in the revenue administration, so he employed them. He did not show partiality in his reign. He encouraged pursuit of astronomy and built observatories near Daulatabad. He paid attention to the principal ports of his kingdom, Chaul and Dhabol, and attracted various trading ships from Persian Gulf and the Red Sea, and also brought luxury goods from all parts of the world. In 1419, he received his setback when Firuz Shah Bahmani was defeated by Devaraya I. Then he was compelled to abdicate in favor of his brother Ahmad Shah I. He called a saint Wali on the account of his association with the famous Sufi saint Gesu Daras. This is about Firuz Shah Bahmani. Okay, so these are the questions for this lecture. In the next lecture, we will discuss from question number 81 to question number 100. And as you all know, the document that we are discussing is the summary document prepared by us. So do encourage us by liking our video, share our video, and do comment and let us know your thoughts. I'll again meet you in the next video. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.